earned our second badge, so let's go for more. Oh yeah, this is a subtle nod to the guy that stands in that one spot and pest. Ooh. And change the mixer a bit, so it doesn't sound like I'm eating my microphone. Okay, so as it stands, I had to reset OBS. Like, I had to reset absolutely everything on it. But anyway, this is a subtle nod to the guy that stands in that one spot in Pastoria City in Diamond and Pearl and says, "Here I am, standing smack dab in the middle of the city." I bet you didn't know that. It's like, I don't really care. But alright. But anyway, back to it. Hopefully the balance is better now. I like the fact that Noibat's in the game. It's a nice touch. Okay, where am I supposed to actually go now? Where do you get the coin case? Huh. I wonder where you get the coin case from. Normally there's an NPC around, it's like, "I'm not doing it anymore, here, take this off my hands." So he's not the daycare that we would come to love and know and love later. Alright, well, I guess we're just not going to worry about it, are we? That's the cycling road in this game, isn't it? I was going to say, if you were a biker trainer class, I would have really been questioning your mettle there for a moment. Hello. Of course, they can't exactly give the exact... They can't give the exact cries into the game. That's not an easy thing to do. From my understanding when it comes to making ROM hacks, not that I know how to. Oh yeah, that's right, you're wind type now. What would you be thinking? This? Well, that's my, if you're talking about this, that's my microphone. But, otherwise, I don't think there's any RGB going on right now, is there? Yeah. Yeah, it's my microphone. Perception's weird. It always has been. Oh, well that's annoying. Because I knew you knew Nightshade at this level. You had to bug me, but you're not a bug catcher. Firo. Kill. What are you, Voldemort? Yeah, unfortunately I can't disable that, but oh well. Not very, about second batch. Ah yes, gotta love that 1 in 255 chance of missing. Yep. Since this game uses Gen 1 mechanics, it unfortunately has the 1 in 255% chance of missing. Every move has a chance of missing. Except for Swift or, like, Aerial Ace or something like that. Which never miss. Where do you get the coin case in this game? Excuse me. And that's fair. truth be told, I never got into Pokemon until about the 2nd gen. So that's where a lot of my knowledge extends from. Okay. Well, Fire Red is just the Gen 3 remake of Gen 1. That's all it is. To be fair, though, Gen 1 needed a remake badly. There were a lot of things that did not age very well. Say it's supposed to go to the east, but there's no way there. I guess we'll head back to the main city. I never battled you? So you're more along the lines of, you kind of debuted in the 3rd generation of Pokemon, which is fine. There are lots of people I know that started there. Lots. Yeah, me, I started back in Gold, Silver, and Crystal. Specifically, Crystal was where I started officially. It really doesn't, to be honest. It's just, there are some things that would... If I'm to be fair, I feel like one of the better eras to start in was the DS era. Because that's when they figured out almost everything they wanted to do with the series. Not really. It really doesn't. It's just, there's a little quiz that goes around it where it just states, hey, what generation did you start with? Then that is your home region. So like Diamond and Pearl, even though those games didn't age very well either, but Platinum fixed a lot of the issues. That was a good era to start in. If Pokemon gets confused or falls asleep, switch it. Confusion is correct. Sleep, not much you can really do about that. Especially since it uses the Gen 1 mechanic where if you are asleep, it wastes a turn to wake up. Yeah, that was not thought out very well. It's not for everyone. It either drags you in or it doesn't. That's how I always felt about. There's a lot of series that are like that, actually. It either hooks you or it doesn't. There must have been an item there earlier and I already picked it up. Yeah, but what happens is you're asleep for X amount of turns, and it waits a turn to wake up. I'm not a fan of that. I'm happy they got rid of that as a mechanic. However, this is part of the reason why there was never a move that just froze your opponent. Because in this generation, if you got frozen, it's game over. Unless you are your Pokemon's essentially just fainted. There's nothing you can do if you get frozen. It really isn't, but growing pains. Second generation, they fixed it where the Pokemon's asleep for X amount of turns. Then when it wakes up, it uses whatever attack you selected. Which is how it should have been in the first place, but oh well. It must have been here. Can any of my Pokemon learn Cut? Ugh. Just the starter, huh? Oh, that's no good. Also, let's buy some Pokeballs before I completely forget. No, I don't want to talk to you. Though I do need to remember you. Okay. Honestly, I don't really have a de facto favorite. It depends on the game. If you literally put me on the spot, though, I would actually have to say, well, my obvious choice due to branding too is Charizard, but to each their own. Oh yeah, did you know you could do this? You can cut grass. They removed this after the third generation. It lasted longer than anyone ever thought it would. Yep. Becomes a lawnmower. Boy, that would be a pain though, wouldn't it? Be like the old days. Alright. it was ground types. Huh, there's some irony. Weak to electric still, but also weak to flying, which we don't have actual flying type, so we're just going to have to wing it. Togepi! Yeah. Yeah. No, it wasn't. But hey. Hey. It works. Okay, Togetic, huh? Wasn't expected to do that much, but I'm not complaining. Own that joke. And in future games, it became very good. Its debut wasn't... It was alright. But... Swords Dance? Oh. Just a shorter path. Great, that was Bud, eh? Bring in your Canadian accent, I see. I think it was meant to be but still. I also apologize for that. Missed. Not a bad move. Oh, Onyx. And the award for one of the most disappointing Pokemon goes to... Hey you! Pikachu! But I don't have a Pikachu. Yeah, apparently wind is good against fire. Go figure. No, it's Onix. That's the name of the... That's how you spell the stone that is named after. Keep telling yourself that. For those who don't know, the reason why it's named Frogger is because, well, the Bulbasaur line are frogs. Don't give them any ideas. Yeah, they're actually frogs. It's one of the weirdest things ever. And you also gotta think, in the original days, the starters were actually based on animals that kids would go out and catch, which were frogs, lizards, and turtles. Yeah, I know, it surprised me too. The Bulbasaur line have legs. They don't have jumping legs, but they have legs. It was a strange era back then. It really was. But then I look at it a bit closer. I'm like, okay, it resembles one species of frogs that don't really have that long of legs. But even still, it's a big stretch. I think they were taking the term tree frog a little too literally. Oh, so you have the trifecta plus Pikachu. Interesting. And you would have thought they would have done that with its Mega Evolution or even its Gigantamax form. No. No. They just made the flower bigger. That's the way back. Some Pokemon you can kind of get what animal they're based on. Like the name Spearow kind of gives it away. It's more or less based on the sparrow, but not really. No, that's Pidgey. Hence the name Pidgey. Even though it looks more like a generic bird. Now there is a Pokemon that is definitely based on pigeons, and that's Pidove. But that's kind of a combination of both a pigeon and a dove. At least later birds made sense. Like for example, Swallow is clearly based on a swallow. I mean, as if that wasn't obvious. Wait, Heracross is in this game? Not bad. I think that's what it was. Yeah, it was based on the fact that they were categorized in the same. They were same species, so they're like, yeah, whatever. No comment. There were a lot of killer designs, especially later. But